Hey everyone, so as promised, we are back with Rock and Josh over here, and we're going to answer 5 or 6 questions that we didn't get to answer during the broadcast the other day. So I'm going to remove myself, and I'm going to pop the questions for these two incredible guys to answer those questions that we didn't get to before. So we apologize for that, and here they are. Let's see what we have. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hi, Josh.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. First question from Judy Jones. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy.
And when did you learn to do your makeup? It's so
Judy Jones. Judy Jones. Well, who's she talking to? Is she talking to your makeup or my makeup?
I don't know. Good question.
because they both have gone up and down.
But, well, like for my makeup, like my makeup probably evolved since I started doing drag. I mean, me and Josh started doing drag at the same time when we were very young, and by the time we got to finish Trockadero, we looked a lot different than when we started.
Do you remember your first time when you wore just a pair of gold eyelashes and some lip gloss and your
They were gold eyelashes. I don't even
gold eyelashes.
I don't even think you were there the one very first time I went to Cruise and Tango. I didn't have any makeup on. I literally had my boys' stage makeup that Barbara Shablowski from the National Ballet School of Canada had taught me how to do. I didn't have eyelashes on. I had a little eyeliner, just a whisper.
A whisper.
I had my pancake foundation that you have to wet. You would pancake your shoes with. It was. But
who's the drag queen that used to say cover girl ain't cover boy?
Oh my god, all of them. But for me, my makeup, I learned to do it. It was really just by trial and error, and I never really had anybody sit me down and be like, "This is how you do your makeup." Like it was just kind of learning by trial and error and what I thought looked good at the time, and then looking back at myself a year later and be like, "Yikes!" Yeah. And it's still such an ongoing process. Even to this day, I change my makeup up and I learn new tricks to do with it and stuff like that, and new techniques. So it's really just been an evolution, and I've had several makeup artists over make my face for like a pageant or a photo shoot, and I always learn a lot when that happens because I learn what I like and what I don't like, and I learn a new skill.
Right now, Jerry's class.
So yeah, it's just been it was just a long kind of process of
Yeah, I definitely like. When I was in drag, I had some queens put me in face, and that was nice to kind of see what worked and what didn't work, and learn from people who knew how to do it. But at Trockadero, I tried different things over and over and over again. I remember at one point in time, I had my eyebrows going all the way up to my hairline.
I remember that.
Full eyeshadow. It was terrible.
I didn't even really block my eyebrows in Ballet Trockadero until I think near the end. But like at the beginning, I think what a lot of people don't realize, it's really hard to like do a beautiful, beautiful face and then go dance 3 point ballets, and by the end you're just like,
yeah,
your makeup is gone. And a lot of times when we're on tour, like we usually move from city to city to city every show. Like it's very rare that Ballet Trockadero is in the same place for a long amount of time or for a number of shows, which is always, I remember being so happy when we got to a theater for like 2 weeks or like even 2 days. We were like, oh my god!
You could pull out the eyeshadow that had been at the bottom of the box.
You like set up shop, but usually, like what I'm trying to say here is usually like when we get to a new theater, we have ballet class, and then we would have to rehearse all the ballets. We'd have to restage them all, and everyone find their markers and all of that shit that you have to do when you're putting a ballet together. So by the time we got to doing our makeup, we usually only had about an hour before it was curtains up. So we had a very limited amount of time. Yeah.
Stick your face in the box.
Exactly. It was very high numbers. Yeah. Next question. Oh, go ahead.
Let's Sheila Belam. What shoes did you wear? I'm assuming
I started, my first shoes were Capuzios. And I remember when I first started with the company, Corey tried to get me to wear it.
Yeah, so it should go.
A great shoe, and because they it was great.
So July 6th
and that was great for us. But unfortunately, the thing with Gator Minutes is because they're made of fiberglass, I believe, or plexiglass, or some kind of glass. They the box isn't malleable. It was really, really hard.
And then the 13th,
I very light. So I remember I wore this one day, and I took my shoe off. It was just white. because like the little like the plexiglass thing in the bottom it just cut into my shoe. So that did that. So I worked at Pizio's and then I switched over to Sancho's because you could get 30 for $1. I remember
they were $19.99.
I literally remember, like, I was used to getting like 3 pairs of Sanchos like every like 6 months, and then when I switched over, or 3 pairs of Capizios, and when I switched over to Sancha,
It was just
Isabel showed up with a box. She's like, "Here are your shoes," and it was like 30 pairs.
It was a waterfall of shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wore Sanchos. I didn't mind them. They weren't the greatest shoe in the entire world, but they lasted a long time. They were strong. It was good.
Yeah, they got the job done. And they never came with those plastic. They came with a plastic insertable shank. So if your shoe was really dead, you could literally put a piece of plastic in the
But you would put that shank in there, and it would be like, and it would break immediately the second you went on to Demi.
But like it would be like, here's your foot and here's the shoe. It was just like. Yep. Jazz Hunter, what made you, Brock, decide to join dance so late at 15? And Josh, what age did you start dance? What made me join? I really didn't have a hobby or any kind of. I played sports. I played hockey for 1 year when I was younger and absolutely hated it. But I didn't really have anything to do, like any extracurricular activities, anything like that. So we decided to start dancing.
I had a lot of ballet dancers in my family. I started dancing when I was 3, and when my mom was, none of them were professional, but they have ballet studios and they take ballet class all the time. But apparently, when I was like 1 and 2, I would go and watch my mom take class, and I would like do all the arms and everything like that in the studio. So my mom was like, "Fine, put them in." So I put it in. I put it in. I was put in.
So I put it in.
So I put it in. So I was put in, and I just kept with it. And then at some point in time, I realized it was what I wanted to do. And at some point in time, I realized I was actually kind of good at it. So here we are today.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Lucy.
Lucy. Oh, Lucy. We just talked to Lucy the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, not Lucy Preslin, but we talked to Lucy the other day. Yeah.
Love Lucy. What would you love to? Would love to know what Brock finds more challenging, ballet or drag race. I would probably say drag race, just because there was more facets to it. Like with Trockadero, like there was the ballet facet, which was obviously very difficult to do and very strenuous on your body, and then there was the makeup you had to get in drag and everything. But like you knew what costume you were going to wear, you knew what steps you were going to do. Like everything was kind of planned out for you. Whereas drag race, you kind of have to come up with everything by yourself, and you're kind of in control. And that's with drag in general. Like you're kind of your own artistic director, and you kind of have to call all the shots. Whereas ballet Trockadero, you showed up and everything was ready to go, and Isabel your ticket, your plane ticket, like check you in, and like just everything was kind of really you were taken care of. And you just had to worry about being in the right spot on stage and knowing your choreography and all that stuff.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Rachel Marie, how are y'all? I love that she says y'all. How are y'all finding classes to take and maintaining your technique during this time? Maintaining is a very loose term. I'm teaching a lot online, and I'm taking a lot of the different companies. I'm taking mostly Norwegian National Ballet class and then my own company's classes from time to time. And different companies are kind of putting ballet classes online, and I'm just taking class at my mantle and hoping not to kick my dogs. And that's it. But I'm also seeing my physical therapist twice a week, once on FaceTime and once in clinic. And she's giving me a lot of exercises and things to do to keep my body in shape. So it's not in shape, but it's maintaining.
Yeah. Well, I am not maintaining. How I am maintaining is that I am not. I'm not a professional dancer anymore. I haven't been a professional dancer in 8 years ish. 2012. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like 8 years. Yeah. So it's been a while for me. And I take class every once in a while, but and I stretch. I do the splits once in a while. Like when I'm performing a lot, I don't have to stretch as much because I'm so active that it just kind of stays. But during this time, I've definitely had to stretch a lot. I do yoga. I love doing Pilates. I love the reformer machine. That's great. And yeah, just ballet's really hard on your body. And it's really, my body specifically is not great for ballet. I don't have one, my knees aren't really great, and I have short Achilles tendons. So everything is just difficult, and it becomes a lot harder the older you get. I know people tell you that when you're young, but if you're young and you're listening to
It's
this,
true.
true. The older you get, the creakier, the squeakier,
Mhm.
the harder everything gets. So
Yeah.
I don't like taking ballet class a lot because it doesn't feel good and it hurts. But
Yeah.
I incorporate it into my drag still a little bit, and I still can just naturally. So that's kind of what I do, and I don't worry so much about. And I also I think we talked about this on the live. I just don't want to do a bar by myself in my living room if I don't have to, and I don't. So
I want to add on one more thing before we go on to Roy's question, that because I know a lot of dancers, and especially probably young dancers or professional dancers that are watching this too. It's really hard to stay motivated right now. And I know like some of our dancers in the company here are taking 1, 2, 3 classes every single day, and it's working for them, and that's great and wonderful, and I'm happy for that. But some people are taking class once a week. And and at some point in time, you have to kind of listen to yourself, especially during this time when everything is online and that's our only option. Like, listen to you and what your body says and what you want, what you personally need, because Zoom classes don't work for everybody. And that's why I'm trying to do the online classes so that I can kind of have my own Zen personal moment by myself. And that's working for me. But, listen to yourself, and don't, as dancers, we kind of feel like we have to keep going and keep going. And if we're not going, then we're not doing anything. And you kind of have to cut yourself some slack and give yourself a break. And it's okay to let your body have a moment to rest and recuperate.
Yeah, you really have to be kind to yourself, and
Yeah,
just
especially in this time that we're in.
seriously, mental health is huge.
Yeah,
Mental Health Awareness Month. Hey.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
All right, Roy Fialco.
I'm glad you said it.
Fialco.
Fialco.
Fialco. Can you talk about a hysterical, insane moment during a Trock performance that was not planned?
Well, I have a really good one.
Just one? I have
Well,
I have a laundry list for y'all.
Let me say this one first. This was in Kyoto, and this is apparently gone down. Tori tells me all the time. This is going down in Trockadero history as one of his most favorite moments that's ever happened. The theaters in Japan, they have this like backdrop that goes across the back, but it's only about 1.5 feet high, and it's to cover the footlights that are in the back, lighting up the scrim. And we were doing Raimonda, which it was my first tour to Japan, and I was doing the Core Boys. What?
Come in. That's called a ground row masking, everyone. He's talking about a ground row masking in a theater. That's what you're talking about. Hi.
She couldn't hold it.
It's like this thing that's like this.
One of Balanchine's earliest ballets.
It's one of Balanchine's. Oh, I have a follow-up on that, by the way, that I want you to remind me of. We were doing Raimonda and the 4 Core Boys, and we've got these little like pink feathers on our head that are like this, and you already feel silly doing this step that you have to do where you have to like clap and shake your head and go backwards, and we're all getting excited because it's the big finale and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like looking out at the audience, and then I'm looking out at the lights, and then I was looking at the backdrop, and I totally flipped over the back because the stage in Kyoto is like this deep and like this wide. It fiercely fell over the back, full on performance, legs up in the air, flopping. And of course, going back to the comedian, I don't know how to cover this kind of stuff when it happens. But Yanni, God rest his soul, Yanni was my partner in his tutu, and we all called him Mama because he was twice as everybody's age. And Mama turned around, stuck her ass out to the audience in that tutu, grabbed my arm and said, "It's all right, baby. Mama's got you." Pulled me up, and all of a sudden I hit my pose.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I have so many. One of my funniest things that happened to me was one of the first times we ever did Harlequinade. And we had remember those blue tutus? They're those really pretty blue tutus. And mine started unraveling. I remember Gio was like on stage and like we were doing this whole like group out of the section, and it just started unraveling, and Gio just kept like grabbing, grabbing two. Or, I don't remember what was coming off.
It was very center stage.
It was very, very, very center stage, unplanned. That was one funny time. Another funny time that I'll never forget involving me was again during ComicCon. We had these Marie Antoinette wigs on with little hats, and we had this one scene where we had to go back and forth across the stage like this. And Christopher Lamb had not pinned in his wig, and his wig came flying off. And then he proceeded to pick it up, but he put it on backwards. So his little ponytail was in the front. And after the step, we have to kneel at the side of the stage, and we're like kneeling with our heads, and we're looking across. Across, just smiling at me. And I was really like I was like convulsing with laughter. It was so funny. I don't think we were here for the time. I think we had left by this point. We were on the U.S. tour, and we were in West Virginia or somewhere, and the Swan Lake music just stopped. After it was the Swan's entrance when they're doing the whole mime thing. And they hit I think it was Nando, and Nando just hit his pose, and the music was cut, and he just went. And he just stayed there, and everyone's freaking out. The poor sound guy had like not loaded the right things. I don't know what happened.
Of course.
We were all very happy because we got to skip right to the. I think we skipped right to the variations or Little Swan, so we didn't even do the waltz. We didn't do the entrance of the Swans. We didn't do the waltz. We didn't do the variations. That was like a funny. That was a funny memory.
Yeah.
There's so many. Oh my god! Like the more I think about it, just like
I have a really gross one.
what?
Can I tell a really gross one?
Yeah, tell a gross one.
There was I was doing. I feel like I shouldn't say which ballerina I was dancing with, but his name rhymes with Mobby Martyr.
They'll never get it.
You never get it. Never get it. He had a runny nose,
Oh, I remember.
and at the end, hi, Mobby Martyr. And at the end of Swan Lake, he's doing all of his fouettes. You know how he turns. Just turn. So he's turning and he's turning. He pulls in for his thing, his finish, and all of his stuff slapped onto the side of his face.
I'd like to keep that on my stick.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
But then the very next thing that we have to do is I have to take his hands and I have to pull him in for an embrace. And I was like, because I didn't want to touch it. It's happened. It happens to everybody. But
I remember one time in Dover Broco. I felt so bad about this. We did our individual entrances, and then right after that we do this part with the drums where we go around them with them, and then after we do that we go right back into the center doing this like create arabesque steps. I remember I was with Camilo, poor thing, and I did the Trockadero, and I went right about it. It was like a kick corner, and I went boom, and I went and turned through that arm, and I slapped. I backhanded him across the face so hard. I was so close. It was one of my first times doing it, so I was like panicking, and he was so mad at me. Not I did it on purpose. I was like, I promise you, that was not intentional.
Guys, we gotta stop.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
We'll tell you stories
chit-chatting.
until tomorrow.
We're just chit-chatting.
Everyone. So, thank you everyone for watching. Go ahead, sign it off, guys.
Thank you so much for watching.
I don't know how to sign off.
There's somebody. Hold on a second.
I'm just saying, not physically sign it off, but say goodbye, sign it off, and then I'll sign it off.
We're so rehearsed.
Just say goodbye to your piece.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. This was so much fun.
Thanks for watching. Always.
Keep on trocking, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.